last brief session on jurisprudence, we provided the 5 important parts of jurisprudence. Now, today we are going to cover important objective areas. Cover important objective areas in the first part of jurisprudence, that is the province of jurisprudence. You remember the last session, we started with the first part, the second part, the third part, 4, and the last part. Today we will cover briefly some of the important objective areas, in relation to the first part. The first important objective area is the literal meaning of the term jurisprudence. This is the first important objective area, the literal meaning of the term jurisprudence, you see. So this is taken from, एक तो यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन गिरता है, this is taken from the term jurisprudentia. This is taken from the term jurisprudentia, which is made up of 2 words, you see. First is juris, which means legal or law, and the second is prudentia, which means the skill or knowledge. So together, skill or knowledge, so together, I mean jurisprudence in literal sense, it means together in literal sense, it means the knowledge of law. The knowledge of law and the knowledge of law and the knowledge of law. This is the first important area. The second important area is with regard to some of the important definitions. The second important area with regard to some of the important definitions. Some of the important definitions, I mean, under this heading, some of the important definitions, and we cover some important, I mean, jurists who provided, I mean, their own definition with respect to jurisprudence. I have covered Salmond and John Austin, Julius Stone. I have covered Salmond, John Austin, Julius Stone, Roscoe Pound, and Hans Kelsen. There are 5, though there are other important, I mean, jurists also, who have defined the, I mean, subject matter of jurisprudence. But these are the 5 important, I mean, jurists who, I mean, define in their own way, and that is the subject matter of objective area, you see. Let's say take the case of, I mean, Salmond. So Salmond says that jurisprudence, इनका जो line है, आप देखिए, which is often a part of objective question. Salmond says that jurisprudence is the science of the first principle of, the first principles of civil law, you see. Salmond ने कहा jurisprudence is the science of the first principle of civil law, first principle of civil law. Civil law, and actually civil law is the law of the state. Civil law, it means the law of the state. सिविल लॉ मीन्स द लॉ. और इनके पुस्तक का जो नाम है ना, द नेम ऑफ हिज बुक इज जुरिस्प्रूडेंस. यू सी, द नेम ऑफ द बुक इज जुरिस्प्रूडेंस. यू सी, इन्होंने इसको है ना जुरिस्प्रूडेंस को यू डिफाइन किया. द सेकंड इज जॉन ऑस्टिन. सेकंड इज जॉन ऑस्टिन, है ना. जॉन ऑस्टिन, है ना, जुरिस्प्रूडेंस. जॉन ऑस्टिन ने जुरिस्प्रूडेंस को, है ना, जुरिस्प्रूडेंस को एक्चुअली ही डिफाइंड जुरिस्प्रूडेंस एज फिलोसफी ऑफ पॉजिटिव लॉ. फिलोसफी ऑफ पॉजिटिव लॉ, आई मीन इन हिज बुक का नाम है लेक्चर्स ऑन जुरिस्प्रूडेंस. बुक का नाम है लेक्चर्स ऑन जुरिस्प्रूडेंस. एंड जॉन ऑस्टिन इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी father of modern English jurisprudence. The father of modern English jurisprudence. Yani, I mean, this is one important, definition provided by John Austin. The third is, the statement of Julius Stone. Yeah, एक important area of question. The statement of Julius Stone. Julius Stone ने jurisprudence को, lawyers extraversion का. Julius Stone ने jurisprudence को lawyers extraversion का है. Lawyers extraversion, you see. Lawyers extraversion. Lawyers extraversion. Now, lawyers extraversion, when we talk about, this definition of, when we talk about this definition, that is jurisprudence is lawyers, extraversion, है ना. तो एक्चुअली पहले तो आप इनकी पुस्तक का नाम जान लें. इनकी पुस्तक का नाम, दो पुस्तक है. एक है सम रिफ्लेक्शन इन जुरिस्प्रूडेंस, एक है सम रिफ्लेक्शन इन जुरिस्प्रूडेंस, और दूसरा है प्रोविंस एंड फंक्शंस ऑफ लॉ. प्रोविंस एंड फंक्शंस ऑफ लॉ. एंड हिज फेमस स्टेटमेंट इज दैट jurisprudence, he termed jurisprudence as lawyers extraversion. You see, now this statement is important for objective question. You see, lawyers extraversion, which means that the lawyers interpret law in the light of. इसका मतलब यह हुआ कि lawyers interpret law in the light of knowledge derived from other disciplines of law, from other disciplines of law. You see, from other disciplines of law, and from other disciplines of law. So the knowledge of, lawyers extraversion में यही बात, the knowledge of social, economic and political problems. You see, social, economic and political problems is essential for, the legal professions. Is essential for the legal profession, and to solve the is essential for legal professionals to solve the legal problems of the society, to solve the legal problems of the society, to solve the legal problems of the society. Now, the third one is Roscoe Pound. Roscoe Pound was famous for providing, you see, एक objective area. Roscoe Pound was famous for providing the theory of, इसी को कहते हैं providing the theory of, इसको आप inverted में put down कर सकते हैं, providing the theory of social engineering. providing the theory of social engineering. Social engineering, you see. Social engineering, as a matter of fact, this statement of, I mean, Roscoe Pound, you see, he actually, Roscoe Pound belonged to, you see, actually Roscoe Pound belonged to, I mean, sociological school of thought, wherein I mean, he sought to explain the inherent relationship between the social sciences and jurisprudence, the different social sciences and jurisprudence. So once you investigate into the relationship between social sciences and jurisprudence, you see, and he termed this investigation as theory of social engineering. Similarly, एक और जूरिस्ट है ना, ऑस्ट्रियन जूरिस्ट, इनका नाम है हैंस केल्सन. एक और भी जूरिस्ट हैं जिनका नाम है हैंस केल्सन एक्चुअली इन हिज बुक एंड अ प्योर थ्योरी ऑफ लॉ, जिसको हिंदी में हम लोग शुद्ध विधि का सिद्धांत कहते हैं, इन हिज प्योर थ्योरी ऑफ लॉ, I mean, he suggested that there is a hierarchy of law. There is a hierarchy of laws. And at the top of the hierarchy of laws is Grund norm. Grund norm. Grundnorm. Grund norm. The Grund norm actually is synonymous to the existence of the basic constitutional laws. इसी को उन्होंने ग्रैंड नॉर्म कहा. He considered, I mean, this aspect as the grand norm, you see, this aspect as the grand norm. So you can put it this way, है ना, literal meaning ले लिए तो एक एरिया वो हो गया, literal meaning एक एरिया, है ना. दूसरा हो गया आपको इंपॉर्टेंट डेफिनेशन, ये दूसरा एरिया. ऑब्जेक्टिव में दूसरा एरिया इंपॉर्टेंट डेफिनेशंस. तो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ लिटरल मीनिंग एंड इंपॉर्टेंट डेफिनेशंस, यू सी, I mean, we can conclude that jurisprudence therefore, and we can conclude that jurisprudence therefore in this sense is a reflective investigation. Jurisprudence therefore in this sense is a reflective investigation of the essential principles of law. अब आप इसको है ना लिटरल मीनिंग लें या डेफिनेशन के मीनिंग को लें, है ना, एक्चुअली कंक्लूजन यही है. I mean, jurisprudence therefore in this sense is the reflective, I mean, investigation of the essential principles of law and legal system. Essential principles of law and legal system which together constitute the philosophy of law, which together constitute the philosophy of law, and the philosophy of law. So the object of jurisprudence is, and so the object of jurisprudence is not to discover new concrete rule, but the essential underlying principles of law, and essential underlying principles of law and which is a kind of investigation, into arriving at certain reforms of in the law. Arriving at certain reforms in the law, you see. So, arriving at certain reforms in the law, you see. So, in this sense, we can say, and in this sense, we can say in this connection, you see, that I mean there are three important statements with regard to the nature of jurisprudence. There are three important statements with regard to the nature of jurisprudence, you see. First is that jurisprudence is the eye of law. अब देखिए ये एक ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन, jurisprudence the eye of law. Now this statement, jurisprudence is the eye of law. The eye of law. Now this statement was given by Harold J. Lasky. Harold J. Lasky, you see. Actually, an eye of law in the human body, I mean the place of eye is very important, you see. I mean the eyes are, I mean enables a person, the eyes enables a person to, I mean determine what is right and wrong, you see. What is right and wrong. Similarly in jurisprudence, I mean by way of the knowledge of law by way of this knowledge of law, the individuals are acquainted with the propriety of conduct in the society. तो एक स्टेटमेंट ये ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन के दृष्टिकोण से इम्पोर्टेंट, थोड़ा थोड़ा हम आपको कवर करेंगे ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन के दृष्टिकोण से. दूसरा एक स्टेटमेंट है, ये लॉर्ड टेनिसन का, ये इम्पोर्टेंट, आई मीन स्टेटमेंट बड़ा इम्पोर्टेंट है. दूसरा जो स्टेटमेंट है वो लॉर्ड टेनिसन का है. इन्होंने कहा jurisprudence is the lawless subject of law. Jurisprudence is the lawless subject of law, you see. Lawless subjects of law, you see. And it deals with, certain aspects of law, certain aspects of law such as origin of law. Deals with, certain aspects of law such as origin of law, and the utility of law. Utility of law, need of law. Utility of law, need of law, and object of law. Utility of law, need of law, and object of law, you see. So lawless, when लॉर्ड टेनिसन ने कहा कि ये जो सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन है ना, ओरिजिन ऑफ लॉ या यूटिलिटी ऑफ लॉ या नीड ऑफ लॉ एंड ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ लॉ, ये जो जो मैटर है, these matters are actually lawless subject of law, है ना. लॉलेस, इसी को लॉर्ड टेनिसन ने लॉलेस सब्जेक्ट ऑफ लॉ कहा. और तीसरा जो स्टेटमेंट है वो डीन रॉस्को पाउंड का है, वो है jurisprudence is the legislation of legislation. Jurisprudence is the legislation of legislation, you see. और एक तरह से है ना दिस इज अ लेजिस्लेशन, ये एक ऐसा इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑफ लॉ है which in future will create a new reformed law. So इसको डीन रॉस्को पाउंड ने लेजिस्लेशन ऑफ लेजिस्लेशन कहा है. तो देखिए यहाँ पर आप समझ जाइए, है ना. एक इम्पॉर्टेंट एरिया हो गया लिटरल मीनिंग, जो ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन के दृष्टिकोण से इम्पॉर्टेंट है. सेकेंड इम्पॉर्टेंट एरिया हो गया इम्पॉर्टेंट डेफिनेशंस एंड इट्स कंक्लूजन, इम्पॉर्टेंट डेफिनेशन एंड इट्स कंक्लूजन. और तीसरा इम्पॉर्टेंट एरिया हो गया, जब आप इसको शुरू करते हैं, तीसरा जो इम्पॉर्टेंट एरिया हो गया वो तीन इम्पॉर्टेंट स्टेटमेंट है. जैसे jurisprudence is the eye of law, put forward by Harold J. Lasky. Similarly, lawless subject of law, this was used by Lord Tennyson. तो ये तीन जो एरिया है, ये जो तीन एरिया है टू बिगिन विथ, ये जो तीन ऑब्जेक्ट, ये तीन, इसको हम लोग कहते हैं दी प्राइमरी ऑब्जेक्टिव एरियाज, दी प्राइमरी ऑब्जेक्टिव एरियाज वेयर वी कैन लोकेट सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस। तो तीन ही नहीं है, चार इसको आप कर सकते हैं। एक हो गया लिटरल मीनिंग, दूसरा हो गया इंपॉर्टेंट डेफिनेशंस, तीसरा हो गया इंपॉर्टेंट बुक्स, और चौथा हो गया इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेटमेंट। ये चार शुरू में जब आप स्टार्ट करते हैं तो ये चार इंपॉर्टेंट एरिया आपको, दीज आर दी एरियाज ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन। तो ये एक सेट है, हम ऑब्जेक्टिव एरियाज को हम लोग टेकअप कर रहे हैं, और इसी में जहां जहां रिक्वायर्ड होगा मेंस के क्वेश्चन को भी टेकअप करेंगे। नेक्स्ट जो हम ब्रीफ लेंगे, रिकॉर्डिंग करेंगे, नेक्स्ट जो लेंगे वो एक्चुअली वो होगा स्कूल्स ऑफ थॉट। बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है वो, ऑब्जेक्टिव और सब्जेक्टिव दोनों दृष्टिकोण से। दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम बोथ ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड सब्जेक्टिव अप्रोच, यू सी, दोनों दृष्टिकोण। इसका नाम है स्कूल्स ऑफ थॉट, स्कूल्स ऑफ थॉट। तो आज हम लोग यहीं तक इसको रख रहे हैं, आगे